morning, everybody. It is Tuesday morning, the 3rd, I believe, and I am just stopping to get a cup of coffee and a little bit of a breakfast sandwich. And then I am on my way to the parking ride for my first attempt at commuting on a bus to work. I've never commuted on a bus to work, and the last time I was on a bus in this country was back in, God, I don't know, still in high school. I didn't have a license then. We did just take a bus up in Canada when we went to Busch Gardens, but that's kind of different. That doesn't really count. This is more important because this is going to a job where I got to be there at a certain time. So last night I sat online and I had to do a lot of research on which buses to pick up, which buses to take, when I'm going to have transfers. And they have a really cool website and a really cool program on there to be able to do all that. But you have to keep kind of inputting times, like, okay, if I leave at this time, I'll get here by this time. If I leave at this time, I'll get here at this time. I wish they would put, like, hey, I need to be here by this time and backtrack your route, but they don't. You have to go forward. So that kind of took some time and frustration, but I figured it out.
Alright, so I made it into the hospital. I'm getting ready for orientation today. That was a very stressful bus ride in. So, on the way in, I get on the bus at Mariner Parking Ride, and I read the paperwork, and it says to get off at Stevens Way in Benton Court, I think it was. And as the bus driver is rounding through the university campus, he looks at me and he goes, "Where are you trying to get off at? Because I don't have any more stops anymore." And I said, "What do you mean you don't have any more stops?" He says, "Well, there's no more stops, so are you heading back north?" And I said, "No." And I showed him my paperwork, and he said, "Yeah, we haven't stopped at that stop for a couple years now. I don't know why that printed out." And I said, "Well, crap, what bus do I need to be on?" As I say that, he points and says, "That one that's passing us right now." So I had to jump out of the bus and ended up waiting for another 10 minutes for the next bus to come, which is just fine. But still just kind of stressful and frustrating. Why would your website print out a stop that's not even on your list anymore? But here I am. I'm getting some coffee on board. I got some food on board. I'm going to go have an orientation day. Alright, just getting some lunch. I got chicken strips. Woo! Those things are damn spicy. I didn't expect them to be spicy. I have successfully made my first round trip commute to work and back from the hospital. I had some difficulty. I had asked for a lot of help, but I got it. And there goes the bus I was on. It's kind of windy. Let's see if I can cover that mic a little bit. There's so many different options when you're commuting from Seattle to here that if you get on the wrong bus, you're going to end up going to a totally different place that you don't want to go to. So I end up having to do a lot of research and reading over the time throughout the day and just try to figure out which bus I need to take. What I did find out is there's another bus that if I work later in the evenings, I have to take to get to the hospital. I'm not thinking straight. I'm hungry. So what I'm trying to say is, in order to get, if I leave in the morning from here to get to the hospital, I won't be able to get back to this parking ride. I would have to take a different bus from the other parking ride down Ash Way in order to be able to get a round trip and successfully make it back to my car. It is very toasty warm in my car. That was what I was kind of afraid of. But at least I only have like a mile drive to go. Let's take my badge in the house tonight so I can do some studying, figure out where my next parking ride meet is going to be. Alright, let's go home. Taking the bus wasn't that bad. It was actually a really nice commute. Going down there in the morning wasn't bad. I got there in plenty of time. Coming home, I predicted I wouldn't be home until about 5:45. It is now 5:20. That took no time at all. That was awesome. I really hope I can make this work and get to commute every day. I got a couple shots while I was in the hospital for vlogging purposes, but
They really frown upon having even your phone out while you're walking around the hospital. I didn't want to carry a camera around. So I did. I took some shots with my phone. Spit on my steering wheel. Took some shots with my phone while I was out. But that, I don't think really mattered. And a real quick shout out to Amy. She was awesome. She helped me out a lot. I pretty much followed her around like a lost puppy getting on the buses tonight. She showed me how to get from one bus to the next bus and the stops I need to be at. And the other gentleman, who I can't think of his name, but he was really cool. He tried to help me out a lot. We were going to ride together, but then his wife came and picked him up. They had plans, so he didn't take the bus. So I just have to say, I literally just drove less than a mile, and I encountered 3 incompetent drivers that frustrated me and made me angry enough to yell at them. In less than a mile. Apparently I got some rage built up inside of me, or people just really can't drive. Hi, Bunny Rabbit.
He's like, he doesn't really like being anyone being
be like this. Is that far enough away from the fire?
Yeah. Do you feel heat?
Oh yeah,
If you get too close, you'll burn all the hair off your arm.
Dad's done it.
Do you have hair on your arm? Let's compare hairy arms.
But Emma, you see all those little white specks?
Yeah.
That's hair.
Ooh, that fire's getting hot.
Mine's a little longer. See?
Oh yeah.
A
I
little
just
bit.
feel it from
It'll get
now.
longer over time.